Building a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck is expensive, but not necessarily difficult. With tools such as TCG Player and eBay, duelists around the world are able to have access to any card they can imagine, just at a few clicks of a mouse. I decided to take on the ultimate challenge. Starting from just 3 structure decks and on a budget of under $40 a week, I'm going to attempt to construct a competitive deck entirely from sealed product. No trading, no buying individual cards online, all leading up to taking on one of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest challenges, topping a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series event. This is Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know, we've been having really garbage luck last 2 episodes. I think it's time for a really drastic change. And I think I have just the idea. Next episode of Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! I think we're going back to basics. And we are back again. Another week we gotta add to the Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. Before we get into the opening today, I just want to make an announcement that I now have merch. That's right, I decided to start up a merch line, and it's called Optimal. Optimal as in like the best. So I'm making the best apparel you'll find for trading card games. This design is actually pretty cool. It's based off of the discard picture. You've probably seen like the cards printed like that. I like that a lot, and I was like, cool. Let me put that on a card. And I actually think it turned out okay. This is pretty neat. I also printed a hoodie too, and the hoodie's kind of similar to a design that I saw from another creator. I thought it looked nice on there too. I plan on releasing designs for this merch line in waves, sort of like collector tins back in the day. So this is currently wave 1, these 2 designs here. I'm actually really happy with how they both came out. I think they look really clean. If you guys want to grab some of the merch, it's all through Teespring, which the link will be down below. There'll also be, of course, I guess, the Teespring bumper down there. If you're interested, check them out. It's one of the great ways to help out my channel. What we're opening today is 2 more Savage Strike because, you know what, I really don't even have to tell you guys why we're opening this. You probably know why. And then also, I got something a little bit new, and that is one of the new 2019 Megatins here. I actually haven't cracked one of these open for myself, so I'm really excited to break this open, see what's in it. Good promos, good cards in it, and everything. It's gonna be a really interesting opening today. I'll talk more about what we're doing with the deck in the deck building segment, but I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get cracking. Savage Strike, 2 of them. I need me Elpy. That's it. I mentioned how last week I was actually having some trouble finding these Savage Strike special editions for like under 15, but on a whim I checked Amazon and they actually had them for 10s each. So I decided, hey, let's give that a shot. We'll pick them up there. We got the promos, 2 Grid Sweepers, 2 Crimson Hearts again. Pack number 1. Trickstar Devradis. I gotta skip through the rest of the comments, but you guys already know what's in it. I've opened this enough. I don't even know what this is though. I've never seen this card in my life. All right, that's cool. I don't think any of the Trickstar Link monsters have at all been particularly useful. It's an ultra rare though. I just needed a super. Let's bust open another here. Prank Kids Roxy's, Salomon Great Pero, Update Jammer, TG Tank Grub, and a Thunderclap Monk. Rocket Synchron and some commons. Last pack of the first special edition Savage Strike, TG Tank Grub, Shiranui Style Solemnity, Update Jammer, and another Thunderclap Monk. Okay, all right. Not getting too upset here. We still got 3 more left. 3 more chances. I really don't want to buy more Savage Strike. I've said this like the last few times I've opened this set. I'm really tired of opening Savage Strike. So if I can just get what I need and we'll call it a day, I'll be ecstatic. TG Tank Grub, Shiranui Style Solemnity, Guardragon Elpy, Neospace Connector, and another one. You caught last week's episode, you know we already pulled one of these World Legacy Guardragons. And there's another one. Staring me back in the face. Dude, what am I gonna do with all these? Cyber Synchron Commons. We'll go again. All right, 2 more packs. TG Tank Grub has been chilling out in the front there for the past few times. Shiranui Style Solemnity, Guardragon Elpy, kinda. Temptation Chalice Slime, and some more commons. Last pack of Savage Strike. Ah, man. I don't think I'm getting the Elpy. Well, we can pray though. Let's hope we get it. Last pack, Savage Strike Special Edition. Guardragon Elpy, Cyber's Integrator, Child's Play, Shiranui Sword Saga, and a Valkyrie Vierté. With that's a Sunlight Wolf. That's not even a bad rare. But it's no Elpy. Alright, Savage Strike. Down again, no Elpy. Man, I'm just on this dry streak for this, man. I really need to get something out of it eventually. Moving on to the cool thing though, something we haven't cracked open yet, and that is the 2019 Gold Sark tin. There's a lot of neat things in here. Great reprints, great promo cards in the form of, you've probably heard the name Nibiru thrown around, or Dark Ruler No More. Very great promo cards in this tin here. Also, look how compact this thing is. This is actually really neat. Some of the greatest cards from the 2019 era are printed in this thing here. I'm going to be looking for myself a lot of the extra deck cards. Boral Sword Dragon's one I'm chasing after, as well as the Nightmare cards. They're gonna be great for our extra deck, and a lot of them are in this tin here. This is probably one of our best chances to get it. There's also like F.A. Dawn Dragster, which is a great card to play with Destrudo. We have like the Crystal Cyber's Quantum Dragon. We already have Cyber's Quantum Dragon, which is another level 7 synchro that we would go into with Destrudo anyways, but Dawn Dragster is another negation, and that's always a-okay too, so I wouldn't even mind pulling that. Lots of great things in this tin. I'm gonna crack it open for you guys, and let's hope we get lucky. Cool thing about this tin too is there's also the Prismatic Secret Rare. It makes a return, and cards get a whole bunch of rarity upgrades from it too, which is really neat. If you guys want to start your own sealed journey, or if you want to just cop the 2019 Mega Tin, use my TCG Player affiliate link down in the description below. When you purchase something on TCG Player with that link, I get a little cut of what you get, and it requires absolutely nothing of you. But that being said, 2019 Gold Sarcophagus Tin. Let's crack it. Oh, it all comes out in a little bundle here. Here's the rest of the tin. There's nothing in the bottom, but a nice little container to hold stuff. I'm actually gonna hold on to it. But this is what we're waiting for here, all the packs and everything. And within this little pack is a promo pack, which we're gonna crack open here. Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon, peeking at the front here. I don't know exactly what the ratios of the promos you get are. We'll find out in a minute if I can open it. There we go. There's like a whole bunch of God cards and everything reprinted in this too. It's over around. The promo pack's just really good on its own too. So let's see what we get. Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. Palladium Oracle Mana. Neat, I guess. Monster Reborn. Oh, that looks so good in Secret Rare there. Check that out. A Raigeki in Secret Rare 2, and a Nibiru, the Primal Being. That's probably the best promo, actually. It's definitely between Dark Ruler No More and this card. But what a sick promo to have. That's going to be great for our side deck. Check out that. Look at that holo. That's insane. That looks so good. Neat. Okay, those are pretty good promos, I'd say. Especially the last one here being, I think, a competitive card all the time. It's the Dark Ruler No More Dimension Shifter or the Nibiru. And I'm glad I got the Nibiru. But 3 packs. 2019 Gold Sark Mega Pack. Let's see if we can get some nightmares out of it. Everything in this, I think, has a different rarity from when it was printed, so it should be pretty cool to see a whole bunch of cards from the sets in different rarities. You have Performapal Goldfang, Sagita Maverick for Hire, Prompt Thorn, Dino Wrestler, I'm not gonna even try. Followed by a Trickstar Bouquet, Waking the Dragon in common, weird. Incantation Talismandra as a super rare. All these incantations are cool. A lot of Necroz decks played it, I know that for sure. And to have them hollowed out like this, pretty sick. Our secret rare is a Crusadia Magius. Oh my, that looks so good in secret rare. Before, you could only get this card in super rare. And look how good that looks in secret. Look at that shine. And then the ultra rare, where it all matters, these are all good. Beat Bladesman for Hire. Okay, this is where we would find our Phoenix, our Cerberus, or even our Boral Sword Dragon. It's all in the ultra rare slot. So if we can grab it, that's our one opportunity to there. Followed by an Altergeist Kiloga, and again, some more commons. Things reprinted in common rarity. Pack number 2. Salamangreat Sanctuary as a common. Salamangreat Gift. Recon Scout for Hire. Dragoonity Senatus, Solitary Sword of Poison, Diplexer Chimera, DDD Flame High King Genghis as a super rare. Looks kind of cool. Followed by Mana Dragon Xenotron as a secret rare. I think this might be, I'm not exaggerating, the worst secret of the set. That's a shame. It looks good though. Look at those colors. And then the ultra rare is a Reproducus. Looks pretty good in ultra. Not something we need though. Realm of Danger and some common cards. All right, last pack of our Mega Tin, last pack of the opening today. So far, actually, no upgrades that I can tell is gonna get changed around here. Dino Wrestler King T-Rexel, Crusadia Leonis, Paladin of Storm Dragon, Vendread Nightmare, Vorticular Drum Dragon, Contact Gate. Our super rare is a dual little Chimera. Our secret rare is an Altergeist Multifigure. Man, DZ would be quaking. Look at that. Get you guys a closer look at that Multifigure there. Looking fresh. Our super rare, ultra rare, whoops, Thunder Dragon Titan, Network Trap Hole, and some more comments. Wow, this opening was disappointing besides like the Nibiru. Weird. Every week I open Savage Strike, and every week I get a little bit more upset. But we're gonna keep trudging on. Let's try to build what we have here, see what we can add, see what we can take out. Nibiru's going in for sure. What a boss. All right, I'm gonna pull out the deck for you guys. We're gonna discuss exactly what I meant last week by going back to basics. All right. So the deck here currently, if you're not up to speed, if this was your first time tuning in, we're playing a basic Pendulum Magician deck. Well, basic's a word to use because it's a conglomerate of unoptimized kind of things, really. We still haven't been able to fully see the power of some of our engines, like the Dark Worm engine, as we have the Gate Infinity over the Gate Zero. We're playing the Zephyr engine in this. It's a really packed deck list. But something happened the other week that really got me thinking. YCS Portland was a couple weeks ago, and a very interesting deck topped, and that was Pure Endymion. I really never thought Pure Endymion would work as a list, but it turns out with the new format, it's actually pretty A-okay. So I'm going to take apart this deck here. We're going to slim down the cut as we've been playing, I think, around 50 for the past few weeks. I'm going to cut some of the unnecessary fat, and we're going to give Pure Endymion a shot for this locals this time around. So what I ended up cutting is I ended up cutting all of these cards here. This is like 20 cards. But I don't think I'm going to be able to cut all 20 of them. It's originally just comprised here of like the Pendulum Magician engine as well as the Zephyr engine. But the thing is this leaves us with 27 cards here. We got to make 40 minimum. I have like 5 cards guaranteed to add, which still leaves us with 38 that we're missing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up putting in the Zephyr engine again here. And that should get us to where we need. All right, so I'm gonna put these cards in the main deck. I'll explain them in a minute. Let me put this all together. I'll explain what's going on with the deck, and I'll give you guys a revised recap. All right, so now the deck's been given a good trimming here. We're down to actually a nice round 40 card list. And I'm ready to share with you guys the Pure Endymion sealed only deck here. There's still a lot of cards that I'm missing in this list. I'm missing things like Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, which is a great card to put in your Pendulum Scale and then immediately special summon. Cards like Allure of Darkness are also pretty easy to get my hands on if I have a week to do it. I need like Foolish Burial, just a whole bunch of really necessary good balanced cards would be able to bring this deck to the next level. There are also a lot more guaranteed cards than that of going with the old deck. We're still going to be needing the Guardragon combo with this. That's why I was really banking on the fact we'd pull Elpy this episode, but we got to give that another week, unfortunately. But now we are back to our grassroots with this Endymion deck, and I'm going to explain all the changes to you guys. So we have 3 Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic. Was just playing him at 2 before, but once you can put this on the board against like Sky Strike or something, they're going to have a hard time getting around him. He's also just a very powerful card in general. A lot of people actually forget the fact that if you destroy him by battle, I get to search any normal spell, which is pretty good. Still, of course, the 3 Servant, never giving that up. And we're also playing 2 of a newcomer, Magister of Endymion. This guy's actually kind of neat. While he's on the field, you can remove 3 spell counters from anywhere on the field to special summon a card that can hold a spell counter from our deck and then put a spell counter on it. But the cool thing is, that's a quick effect. So provided we can put spell counters on our field, this actually doesn't even become that bad of a normal summon because it does give us the quick effect ability to be able to summon Endymion from deck. That's pretty good as is. I might bump this up to 3, but I want to try it at 2 first, trying to give it just a little entry level kind of test. Still playing 3 Chronograph and the 1 Time Gazer as a really easy engine to be able to get Pendulum on the field to make Electromite. We are also playing 3 Jackal Kings still, and the 1 Master Cerberus. Again, another engine to be able to get that, but Jackal King is just becoming more and more important, and it's especially even better in this build because of the fact that it really easily generates spell counters to be able to distribute amongst the rest of our field, activate other effects that may use spell counters. Playing 1 Gate Infinity as well as the 3 Dark Worms still. Again, it'd be nice if we had Elpy to actually see this engine in full power, but we don't. Put these all together here. It's getting kind of annoying to keep it like that. 2 Zephyrath as well as 2 Zephranu. So we're still rocking the Zephyr engine here. This was going to be the first thing that I cut, but I'd be a little bit short on space. Again, we're missing those cards like Allure and everything. This engine is still pretty good though. Plays around Dark Ruler no more by giving us a Divine Strike, which is still just a really powerful card in general. I don't mind keeping this in here. Abductor is cut down from 3 to 1. This card just continues to not impress me as I play it. I still think it's probably one of the better things to put in the scale, but through testing, it just doesn't work out even that often. But with this build here, being able to have spell counters amongst a different field spell now that you haven't seen in a while, plus all the thick cards that generate spell counters, this card gets a little bit more reliable, and I think that's enough to keep it at 1. Plus, I get to play the 1 super rare that we pulled from Pendulum Evolution, which is pretty dope. And then the last card, Aether, is still in the main deck there. Great going second card to be able to remove things from the board. Gets even better with Elpy, but we don't have Elpy. I'm going to keep complaining about that. On to the spell cards. We have 3 Spell Power Mastery still there. And then on to a different kind of more bulky field spell setup. We have 2 Oracle, 1 Magical Citadel of Endymion, and then if you remember this, You Deserve a Veterans Discount. We pulled Secret Village of the Spellcasters in like episode 2. And I don't know why I never really even sided it. This card is incredible and it becomes even better with this strategy. If we control a spellcaster, our opponent can't activate spell cards. And if we control no spellcasters, we can't activate spell cards. But we're going to normally control a spellcaster type monster. So if we have an Endymion plus Secret Village, our opponent's not resolving any spells. It's just not happening. So that's going to make its way into the main deck too. That actually might be able to win us a couple matches just off of having this card alone. Sky Striker is going to have a hell of a lot harder of a time beating us now. To be able to get our field spells, we have the Terraforming still, but we also have a set rotation that we pulled back in Maximum Crisis. Set rotation has a really interesting kind of synergy with that of Oracle of Zephyr. Since we play 2, not only can we give ourselves an Oracle of Zephyr, but if our opponent doesn't play any Zephyrs in their deck, they actually can't even activate the Oracle of Zephyr because I believe it's a mandatory effect to search. So that being said, set rotation is kind of sick in that sense. It's not only just another spell to be able to grab our field spells, which we have plenty of, but also that kind of locking mechanism is actually kind of cool. Might come in handy. And then we for last spells, we have 3 Paw Desires and and a Dragon Shrine still. This will be bumped up to 2 soon enough, but that is the spell count there, all those cards. And then the traps, we actually just bumped it down to 1 Zephyr Divine Strike. We're not focusing on the Zephyrs as much anymore, so the 1 is okay with me. This is a 40 card list, nice and neat and packed up there. I'm actually quite happy with it. I think I'm feeling a lot more confident this week than last week. On to the extra deck, there's actually 0 changes to the extra deck, partially because there's really no reason for me to even adjust it. I was prepped to be able to change it around if we got the Guard Dragons, but we didn't. So it's the same as last week, but I'll show you guys again. We got Electromite, Underclock Taker, Decode Talker, and Metaltron as the Link 3s, Zeroboros, Borlo Dragon, and Saryuja as the Link 4s. That's all the Link monsters, and then for the other ones, we have a Scarlet Red Dragon, Archfiend, Enlightenment Paladin, Stardust Dragon, and Arcanite Magician. These become so much less important now that we don't have any tuners in the deck. Once we are able to put Deshudo in with that of our Dragon Engine, you'll see this changed around a lot for the better. For right now, this is fine though, because we're not going to be accessing it anyways. And then for the other ones, we have Norito, Time Star Magician, Utopia, and Kachi Kochi Dragon. Again, some of these, like, I'm not going to be able to even like summon the Norito unless on very, very strict circumstances, but you won't be seeing me access this extra deck as much aside for like Electromite anymore. And then the side deck, which has seen a couple of changes. Actually, here we have the Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogres, and Snow Rabbits, and then 3 Droll and Lockbird, and then also new inclusion. There's like this cult following of people that want me to add Walk Kinetic Puppeteer, which is another hand trap where I can discard it, will send it from my hand to the graveyard, and then move a card in my opponent's zone to another zone. And that becomes important because with Guard Dragon combos, you can move the Elpy over to a place that's 2 zones aren't pointing to, and then your opponent is stuck into dragons, and pretty much they're done with their combo as well. So a lot of people will tell me to put this in here. I've been really hesitant on it because I don't think it's been that great, but I cut Galaxy Cyclone and Archfiend Eccentric, and I was like, you know what? We'll give it a shot this time. So they're in there, we're gonna give it a shot. Dragon Pit Magician, Gamma Seal, one of the Archfiend Eccentrics is there, and then the new addition, Nibiru, the Primal Being, is in there as well. Those are the monsters. And the other things, there's not many. Twin Twisters, as well as Red Reboot, and Heavy Storm Duster. That's a 15 card side deck. And that is the new and improved sealed only deck that we're taking to locals today. I'm actually gonna re-sleeve these again. These are dirty. actually disgusting if you want to look at these for a sec. I'm going to go back to what I know and love. We've got a regional next week, so I want to be practicing like I'm playing. We're going back to PC Whites. Let me pull those out of my bag real quick. Good old PC Whites. You just can't beat them. I'm going to slap these on the deck here. We're going to get the locals, and we're going to crush, baby. I'm feeling it. I'll catch you guys there. Back at Bluebell, today we're playing that fresh new list. I'm feeling rather confident with it. Definitely, I think it's going to be performing a lot better than our mess of a pendulum deck we were playing before. 5 rounds of Swiss, lots of really high-profile players here. Lots of players that have topped regionals for the past 2 weekends in Catskill, as well as what was before that, Brooklyn, I think. Lots of really good names in here. Let's hope we can clutch out a winner tonight. Harold? Yeah. 4. You choose. Okay, good luck. Hey, okay. Quick update. We just finished round 1 of the day, and we didn't take round 1, but I want to just preface, I'm feeling super confident, a lot better with this list. Game 1 against Danger Thunder, we opened up actually really well, but we lost the die roll. So he was going to go first, and he set up his entire Danger Thunder board. It was Seal plus Hope Harbinger plus Colossus plus something else. I had like a really solid hand I was looking at, but it just wasn't enough to power through that many negates. I actually didn't even expect for him to end on the Hope Harbinger, but he ended up pistying back his Chaos Levianeer, which allowed him to do that. I never would have even thought of that play in a billion years. But he did it. Game 2, I kind of had a feeling he was going to opt to side in a whole bunch of going second cards. So what I did is I have like 9 hand traps in my side deck from like Wakinetic Puppeteer, Nibiru, everything like that. I was like, you know what? Let's do a little bit of science here. I was going to let him go first to see if I could top deck a hand trap to be able to like get me out of this situation. We did open up 1 hand trap, and it was probably one of the best ones. We opened up Droll and Lockbird, which when he went for his Crusadia Magius, and then he summoned Tsuchinoko, when he was going to activate the Magius effect, I actually drolled him, so he wasn't able to add anything. He just actually ended up passing. I didn't have enough to be able to kill him on his turn, but I was actually able to set up a pretty formidable board. It ended up being like Electromite, Jackal King plus Endymion with no counters on it, unfortunately. Like I said, I couldn't kill him, and then I passed it back to him, and just as I thought, he did side in going second stuff because he summoned Pankratops as his next card, and that was a little bit more difficult to get around. He couldn't fully clear my board. I still ended up having like Endymion on the field, plus like 1 in the scale, and then I top decked for turn into a Spell Power Mastery, which was probably the absolute best top deck because I was able to put a counter then on the Endymion, which is crazy. After that, I was just about to pendulum summon a billion dudes and go for game. He knew it was up, so he ended up conceding. Game 3, he opted to go first again, and we opened up a hand. We were looking for hand traps, and we ended up getting Wakinetic Puppeteer as our 1 hand trap, which is obviously not the greatest of the bunch. I still thought I was going to be able to throw him off guard with it, but he made a super like next level big brain play and decided to make Appaloosa. Apparently that's the new big thing, is to make Appaloosa going first. Plays around hand traps, plays around Nibiru kinda, I guess, before he commit anything. So it makes a lot of sense. He made that before he went into his old Guardragon combo, so I wasn't able to move the Elpy. My hand wasn't the absolute greatest too. I was gonna definitely bank on the fact that I was able to move that Elpy, which I couldn't. So he was able to set up a full board of like maybe like 2 negates or something like that. I couldn't out it, unfortunately. 5 rounds of Swiss today. Again, I'm feeling a lot more confident with this deck than the last one. I think we might be able to clutch it out here. I'll keep you guys posted on how we end up doing. Let's get back into that there. Just finished round 4. We caught the dub there. We're 3-1 for the day so far. Fucking great. Round 2 we played against like a hero deck, and we ended up taking that down pretty convincingly. And then round 3 we played against Cyber Dragons. also took that down pretty easily, but that takes us to round 4, which is the next match that I recorded. We were playing against Mech Knight Invoked, which is a deck that I haven't seen in a hot minute, actually. Game 1 against the deck, we actually opened up a pretty solid hand. Again, I'm going blind against this matchup. I don't know what really to expect, but he opts for me to go first, which is a little bit concerning when you want to think about it. And actually a pretty solid hand. It was going to presumably just be full combo if it was to get off. I went to Electromite, and then he actually gammaed my Electromite. Yikes. That kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't able to end on anything like super impactful, so it passes it back to him. His turn to go, and he just Boral Swords me, plus a couple other dudes. I got wrecked. Couldn't win that game, not a chance. Game 2, I definitely know his deck wants to go second 100% of the time. So I look at him and just say, you know what, do your worst. Go ahead, you go first. And he ends up going set, pass. Pretty optimal for us. It would have been super optimal for us if we had a hand that we were able to game him with right after that. But unfortunately, no dice. We didn't have enough really strong enough cards to be able to put on the board and just go for game. So I ended up just like activating a Servant in the Scale and then like passing or something like that. My Pot of Desires didn't get me into enough, so I wasn't really able to kill him, and I didn't want to just commit things to the board that could have just gotten destroyed or Prick or Trioed or something like that. It wasn't worth it. I actually did end up ogreing his Mech Knight Blue Sky that he summoned, and when you ogre the Blue Sky, it won't get its effect to search anything. So that was a really huge kind of swing there to get it off the board, but not only that, remove any searches from him. After that, turn swings back around to us. We clean it up. We just summon like 4 dudes big enough to attack over for game. We get there. Game 3 was like super interesting. I opened up kind of like a clunky hand. Well, it was an interesting hand. I had a couple options that I had to decide. I could have ended up, if I just summoned the Magister, get 3 counters on the board with the Citadel, I would have been able to summon an Endymion from deck on my opponent's turn, but that'd be my only negate at that point. I didn't think that was strong enough, so I decided to go off one of my combo. I was able to summon like Electromite and then be able to get everything set up. I had like Servant plus Zephyrath in the scale, and I also had a set Divine Strike with a Citadel gaining a couple counters. He ended up like mind controlling my Electromite and then summoned a Mech Knight and ended up like using it to make Morningstar. He couldn't go for game. He put like 4,400 points of damage into me, but it wasn't enough to kill me, which really that's was all was gonna matter. He passed his turn back to us. We have 2 counters on Servant, 4 on Citadel. I activate my Pot of Desires to bring that up to 3 and 5. And then I activate the Servant effect to summon an Endymion from deck, and I have the Servant with the counter on the field. From there, I actually have another Endymion sitting in my hand, which I activate to put the Citadel to 6, which, if you know what Endymion does, I can remove all 6 counters from that Citadel to summon him to pop 4 cards on the field, and it doesn't target. It just so happens that my opponent has 4 cards on the field. How convenient, they all get popped on the field, and it actually activates Waking the Dragon from his graveyard. But it's a good thing that Endymion, its spell or trap negation effect can also negate spell or trap effects. So I'm able to negate that, clean him out of all cards, and then just pretty much seal up the game from there. So that puts us at 3-1, and we're moving into the last round of Swiss. I'm pretty sure we have to win the last round to get top 8. We'll see how it goes. I really hope I can seal that. I'll keep you guys posted. I don't have a whole bunch of time, but we're actually getting into top 8 right now. I did take it down. I'm 4-1 moving into top 8. I don't know exactly what the prize support is. Again, new locals. We'll figure it out as we go. But again, super confident. 4-1 for the day. That's crazy with this deck. Definitely a big improvement from last week. And this is where our journey ends today. Ended up in top 8 playing against dinosaurs, and just so happens, I literally don't have an out to True King of all Calamities in my main deck or side deck. So when he summoned it game 1 and 2, I was shooketh. Had to just scoop him up. Not something I was really planning for. But we did manage to get top 8, which let us get 1 pack. Martin, I'm just not lucky, dude. If only there was booster packs of Savage Strike, well, I would have taken those in a heartbeat. Right, so that being said, this weekend is our competitive debut of the sealed-only Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. Philadelphia Regionals is this weekend. We got a little bit more product to crack open, and then we're going into action. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter to see how we do. I'll see you guys next week.